Hello everyone and welcome back. This time I will be sharing with all of you a template that I created for writing the introduction and background of the study, and we are going to do this by using Tagalog and English as the medium of our discussion. So for this particular template, I have divided this into two parts, which is the introduction and the background of the study. So we have on this part the introduction and the background of the study. The reason for this particular template is to simplify and to present to you an overview of what is supposed to be done when you are writing your introduction and background of the study. Second, in order to differentiate introduction from background of the study by presenting the contents of each of these parts, which is the initial part of chapter 1. So let's start off by identifying the different parts or the content of what we call the introduction. So this particular part, numbers 1, number 2, and number 3 are all part of what we call the introduction. And then number 4, number 5, and number 6 will be part of what we call the background of the study. So what should be the content of what we call the introduction? The introduction presents the following. It is a presentation of the issue, not necessarily the problem. So I always use the term issue instead of problem because not all issues are considered problems. So it is a presentation of the issue being investigated. What the question that is supposed to be answered in this particular part of your research paper. Kapag kayo nagsusulat, kailangan masagot nyo ang mga sumusunod na tanong. What is the issue being investigated? Kaya yun ang ipipresent ninyo. I-present nyo agad ano ba ang iniimbestigahan ninyo. So dapat masagot yan. Ano yung issue na iniimbestigahan? And what is known and unknown about the issue? So what is known and unknown about the issue? What is known refers to the facts. Ano yung katotohanan tungkol doon sa issue na iimbestigahan ninyo? At ano pa yung mga hindi pa nalalaman tungkol doon sa issue na iimbestigahan ninyo sa inyong research. Lahat ng ito ay i-discuss sa pamamagitan ng tinatawag nating narrative, pakwento. Ikukwento ninyo, ang pagsusulat ninyo ay nasa form ng pagkukwento o pagnanarrate. Okay? So, yun yung unang bahagi na tatalakayin ninyo dito sa bahagi ng introduction. Yung pangalawang bahagi ay yung tinatawag nating presentation of the need to conduct the study. Ipe-present ninyo yung dahilan kung bakit kailangan gawin itong research na pinopropose ninyo. So, ang tanong na kailangan masagot, why do you need to conduct the study? So, mag-present kayo dyan ng mga ibang studies na ginawa na nagkaroon kayo ng inspirasyon dito at dahil kayo ay apektado, pinili ninyo itong issue na ito para imbestigahan naman sa lugar ninyo, sa lokal ninyo. Okay? So, the need to conduct the study is an argument. Magbibigay kayo ng ebidensya na talagang merong pangangailangan na gawin yung research ninyo. So, kailangan i-convince ninyo yung inyong mga readers. Yung pangatlo, presentation of the importance of the study or the significance of the study or the relevance of the study. So, ang kailangan sagutin nyo dito, what will be the implications and the significance of your study? Ano yung kahalagahan nito? Ano yung mga benefit na may bibigay nitong study na ito? So, basically, this is what should be read. Ito ang dapat na mabasa at makita doon sa initial part ng inyong chapter 1, which is the introduction. By definition, ang introduction ay ang sumusunod. This section, itong bahagi na ito, should be clearly presented or should clearly present the issue, which is what we discussed kanina sa kaliwa, being investigated and provide relevant contextual information, yung facts. Ito yung sinasabi natin. Ano yung known? Ano yung facts? Okay? About the topic of the research, yung issue na iniimbestigahan ninyo. So basically, kung ano yung diniscuss natin kanina, ito din yun nandito sa definition natin. It typically includes a brief overview, maiksi lang, of the facts, the truths related to the issue being investigated. This section aims to establish the need for the research. Sabi natin kanina dito, kailangan i-present ninyo yung the need to conduct the study. So ito din yung sinasabi niya. This section aims to establish the need for the research. Another, highlight the significance, the importance, the relevance of the study. And provide a foundation, basihan, para gawin yung inyong research by presenting the relevant facts, concepts, theories, of previous research findings. So basically, itong definition na ito, nire-reinforce niya lang kung ano yung nandito sa pinag-usapan natin. So ito yung tinatawag nating introduction ng inyong study. Yung susunod na bahagi naman ay yung tinatawag natin background of the study. So mamaya pag-uusapan natin kung ano yung deductive method. So itong background of the study, ang una nyong ipipresent dito ay yung effect at kung sino yung affected. Ano yung epekto at sino yung apektado doon sa study na ginagawa ninyo. So, ang sasagutin nyo dapat, what will be the effect of the study and who will be affected by the study. Okay, next. So, basically, pwede nyong ipasok dito yung tinatawag nating respondents ng study ninyo. Number 5, presentation of the rationale or the reason or the motivation of your study. Rationale refers to the reason why you conducted the study. So, you should be able to answer what motivated you to conduct the study. Okay? So, the last part of the background of the study is what we call the presentation of the goal or the aim of the study. What is the objective of the study? So, yan dapat ang maipipresent ninyo dito sa bahagi nito. Yan dapat ang makikita sa bahagi na ito. So, yung background of the study natin is defined as this section or part provides an overview of the issue being investigated, yung research objectives ninyo, sino yung participants, yung respondents, sabi natin kanina, ano yung effect ng issue, the research questions to be addressed in the study, and the rationale of the study. This section or this part serves as a roadmap para makita yung direksyon na gagawin ninyo o nang gusto ninyong gawin doon sa inyong research. For the research paper by outlining the main purpose and direction of the study. So basically, again, kung ano yung present natin dito sa number 4, 5, and 6, it is what is being discussed or presented dito sa background of the study. Now, on this side, makikita ninyo, we have the inverted pyramid. And then we have an arrow going down or presenting yung direction na downward. So, from the base, which is larger, down to yung smaller part is what we call the deductive method. So, I have already discussed this in previous videos here in my YouTube channel. So, ang ibig sabihin ng deductive method is from general to specific. So, from general discussion, narrative, general to specific. So, this is used when you are discussing and you are implementing ang ginagamit ninyong paraan ng pananaliksik o sa research ay yung tinatawag nating quantitative research. So kapag quantitative research, deductive method ang gagamitin ninyo. Ang deductive method ay karaniwang gumagamit ng tinatawag nating thematic discussion, thematic paragraph development, sa pagnanarrate o sa pagkukwento. Anong ibig sabihin ng thematic? Meron siyang mga label sa taas, may mga heading. May mga heading sa taas ng inyong paragraph kung saan bawat heading, bawat topic ay related doon sa susunod na topic. Pero ang difference niya ay itong topic na ito is from general and then it becomes more specific. Okay? So that is what we call thematic narrative writing. Okay, and this should be implemented dito sa pagsusulat ninyo ng iba't ibang bahagi ng inyong research paper. Sa chapter 1 meron yan, sa chapter 2 lalong-lalo na. Okay? Which is the review of related literature and studies. So that is what we mean by deductive method. Now, reminder, note, avoid excessive and unnecessary use of citations. Pwede kayong gumamit ng citations dito sa inyong introduction and background of the study. For example, if you want to cite a specific study na ginawa na before, na gagawin yung basihan at sasabihin ninyo na according to this study, talagang merong existing na problema tungkol sa issue na ginagawa ninyo ng research. Yun yung tinatawag nating citation. You can do that, but ang advice lang is do not use excessive and unnecessary citations. So, hindi naman kailangan lahat ng part ng inyong research gagamitan nyo ng citation. So, hindi dapat sobra at hindi kayo dapat gumamit kung hindi kailangan gamitan ng citation dito sa pagsusulat ng introduction at background of the study. So specifically, those who keep asking ilang pages po ba dapat ang introduction and background of the study, you can already write your introduction and background of the study using 3 to 5 pages for this part of your paper. So again, I will be presenting to you an example of this particular template of a specific introduction and background of the study of a research using this template. So tandaan niyo kung ano yung mga nandito sa template natin kasi yun yung gagamitin natin para ma-identify doon sa actual na manuscript. So number 1, ulitin natin yung research gap, tapos kung ano yung known doon sa issue na iniimbestigahan ninyo. Number 2 is the need to conduct the study. Number 3, what will be the significance of the study. And then number 4, presentation ng effect and sino yung affected. Number 5, presentation ng rationale of the study. And number 6, presentation ng goal of the study. So let's go to your actual example. So here, in an actual manuscript, so ito yung number 1, which is the presentation of the issue that is being investigated. So ang iimbestigahan niya is a tool that is used in mathematics. So ang unang ginawa niyang discussion ay may kinalaman dito sa mathematics. And then after that, sa kanya ipapasok yung tool na pwedeng makapag-improve sa pagkakatuto ng mathematics. Ano naman yung pangalawa? Balikan nga natin yung ating template. Number 2, doon sa template natin, presentation of the need to conduct the study. Presentation of the need to conduct the study. So number 2, this one, so varied researches long demonstrated that mathematics is a common and important problem of students in all ages that needs to be addressed. Underline natin. So kailangan talagang gawa ng research ito dahil ito ay madalas na nangyayari at kailangan bigyan ng kasagutan. So napaka-simple nung kanyang ginawang statement na isinama niya lang dito sa kanyang discussion. So number 3, doon naman sa number 3, tignan natin, presentation of the importance of the study. What will be the implication and significance of the study? Dito sa example, ito yung number 3, global concern. So it is important because this is at a level na global concern. So it will benefit not only the local kung saan ginawa yung research, pero even outside of that particular local and outside of that country, magbe-benefit sila if you were able to identify kung ano yung mga findings mo and able to answer the goal and aim of your study after conducting the research. So, yung benefit will be global. That is why we will be able to answer yung question number 3, the importance of the study. So, it is very important. And then, number 4, presentation of the effect at sino yung affected. Number 4. So, let us look at the manuscript and look at number 4. So, who will be affected? So, here, makikita na natin that number 4, the affected will be majority of the learners of the country are struggling in mathematics in general. Okay, sino yung affected? Learners ng mathematics. Saan? Sa Pilipinas. Okay? So, again, number 4, was it able to address kung ano yung effect niya, kung sino yung apektado, who will be affected, and ano yung effect? Who will be affected and what is the effect? So, yung mga apektado ay yung mga students who are taking up mathematics in the Philippines. At ano yung epekto nila? Isa-cite niya dito yung mga result ng mga exam, kasama na dyan yung sa PISA. Okay? So that is number 4. Okay, next. I think if I'm not mistaken, kung madadaanan natin, ito yung mga result. Yung mga result. Yan yung effect. So ito yung sinasabi natin kanina, yung mga apektado, yung mga students in the Philippines taking up mathematics under the basic education curriculum, and then yung effect niya are also presented. Hindi na lang natin na inisa-isa dito sa mga examples niya. So dito, isa sa mga example niya ay yung result ng national and international test sa mathematics. Okay, and then, so that is number 4. Number 5, what is number 5? The rationale of the study. The reason why you conducted the study. So, here in number 5, Math Talk as one of the approach. Math Talk is the strategy na pinopropose niya para makatulong, mapagaan yung pagkakaintindi at pagtuturo ng mathematics to student discussion. It stated that Math Talk enhances everyone's mathematical understanding, competence, and confidence, which are parallel to the goal of the researcher wants to achieve. So pareho din doon sa gustong malaman ng researcher. Kasi gusto niyang malaman kung totoong itong Math Talk nga ay makakatulong para mapagaan yung pagkakaintindi at pagturo ng mathematics. So again, this is already part of what we call the rationale of the study. Next, number 7, the objective of the study, or number 6 rather. Number 6 is the presentation of the goal or the objective or the aim of the study. So number 6 here on this example ng manuscript ninyo, thus the research focused on Math Talk, and then this study aims, ito na yung objective niya, to flaunt that through this teaching learning approach, students will play an active part and deepen their understanding towards the concept of mathematics. So ito yung direction ng kanyang research as stated here. Gusto niyang patunayan na yung Math Talk ay makakatulong at mapapagaan yung pagkakaintindi at pagtuturo ng mathematics. So again, we have already compared and tried to see if yung template natin, which is presented here, is parallel with the example ng manuscript na present ko sa inyo today. So I hope this was able to enlighten you at an overview. Makita nyo kaagad yung outline kung anong laman ng introduction and background of the study ninyo. Again, here, yung mga maliliit na letra, if you want to use our discussion, please feel free to message me so I can give you a written approval and consent kung gagamitin ninyo ang ating discussion sa inyong respective classroom or sa reporting ninyo. Again, don't forget to please support our YouTube channel by clicking that subscribe button and that notification bell to alert you when a new video has been uploaded. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Stay safe everyone. God bless and see you on our next video. Bye!